Hi, my name is Marcus. Um, how are you doing today, Maggie?
I'm not well because, these charges that I have to face.
Okay. Um, how do you find the office, by the way? Do you like it?
No, because some of the plants are like all this stuff is just all over the place.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll fix it.
All right, okay, it's fine. Whenever you want to make it you happy and comfortable.
Like this.
All right. Oh, it's beating good. Yeah, it's better, much better. All right, thank you. Good, good. You came here in my office because you want to see me and um, you have the situation. How is it?
I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just really stressed over everything. Just really stressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Anyway, before we begin your assessment, I would like to make sure to disclose about the confidentiality. Okay. So in the first session, I would like to get an assessment with you, and there are many questions that you need to answer, including your past and what is going in your life today. And um, but if you are not confident to share, then just let me know. Okay? I would like to assure you that everything we'll talk about here will remain confident. And what we say in this room will stay between you and me. And it's not going anywhere. So I will finish the confidentiality statement first so that I can um, start my assessment with you. Okay?
Okay.
And I would like to let you also know that like any other rules, there are exemptions to this. Okay, if you want to kill yourself or harm yourself, seriously, I need to report it. Okay, so if you say that someone else threatening you,
But I never said that I wanted to harm myself.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
we're
We're just here about my husband.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just stating the confidentiality. Okay, so that you will have the room to to guide you.
I really
Okay.
don't want to be here. So,
Okay.
okay.
I understand that. Okay, so let me proceed. Okay, is it okay for you? Yeah. Okay. Um, if you say some, if you say that someone else is treating you or harming you bad, somehow you are unsafe, and I will report it. Okay.
So the only person that was treating me bad was my husband.
Yeah.
Right? He was beating me up and so forth.
Okay.
So he's gone now. So
All right.
okay. So
Understand,
everything
yeah.
else is okay.
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 And the last one is that if you tell me that you have the serious intention to hurt someone, then
My
I will report
husband's
it.
dead.
Okay.
My
Okay,
husband-
I have the legal job to keep you safe, okay? So bear with me and that makes sense with you, Maggie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So all right. If you don't mind, can we talk about your husband?
My husband. My husband.
Are you open to discuss about it?
I'm not too well. I don't even know why I'm in trouble. I freed myself from my husband's abuse. Why am I here? He almost killed me.
Why do you say he almost killed you? Do you want to talk about it?
Well, for starters, he normally. I'm a very strict person. You see, and I came and I fixed the stuff on the table because it was out of place. And so he always slept on the bed, and the gun was always on his side of the bed, and it was fine. And then I think it was like the day before I killed him, I walked in and I seen that the gun moved.
All right. Can you talk about before we go to the deep assessment with that situation? Can we can we allow me to know where did you meet your husband?
got married 20 years ago. I really liked him. He was so charismatic. He was so cool. Like, he was very fun. And you know what? He really knew how to cook.
Really?
He just knew how to cook. Yeah, his food was so delicious. I miss him.
Were you able to enjoy your time while dating your husband?
Only the first part. And I don't understand what happened. Because I just don't understand. He was so good, and then out of nowhere, he just became abusive. And
Can you elaborate your relationship with your husband?
well, he had a good job, and he was doing everything okay, and then out of nowhere, I don't know what happened, and then he started drinking. So whenever he drank, he came home, he was angry, and I didn't do anything to him, neither did my children, and he was just an angry person. And I had to deal with this for 22 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We married just 20 years ago, and our sons.
What do you think the reason why he drink a lot when you get home?
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know. He worked a lot, and I mean, like, in the beginning, everything was fun and fine, and we had so much fun, but then he started working, and he didn't have any time for me and for our kids. I felt like after we had our children, everything just went down. So
May I know when was the last time you were happy in your relationship with your husband?
a long time ago, I think even before our children were born.
Who was it? Can you elaborate?
We have 3 sons. George, he's a construction worker. And he's married with 3 children. Like, he moved away from us because we were so toxic, I think.
Yeah.
And then Arnie, he's 34, and he has 3 sons. Then Paul, he was serving in the military. He was deployed, so he wasn't around all the time.
Yeah. When was the last time you noticed something about your husband? What was that?
Oh my goodness. You might take this as it's strange, and I kind of felt weird too, because he just started saying some strange things. Like, he said that I was working with aliens, and so I offered for, like, I don't know, there was just something wrong there, and so I offered for us to go for counseling together, but my poor Richard, he would still be here if we went for the counseling, I feel. If he didn't move the gun from where it was on the bed. And then all the ammunition, like, I realized that he put the bullets in the gun and all this. I just felt scared. Yeah.
Does he always do that? He just left the guns and the ammunition?
No, that was what was strange. The gun was always in that spot. And so when I came in through the door and I would come around to my side of the bed, I would always make sure to look at the gun. And then the cabinet that he had the ammunition in, it was open. And then so I went into the box and I realized that some were missing. And so when I looked into the chamber of the gun, I realized now, before there were no bullets in there, and then I realized that he loaded the gun. So I was so scared. My poor
So
Richard.
what was in your mind when you did that to your husband?
I was just very fearful. Like, I tried to reach out to his mother and my mom and our sons, and I was just so fearful.
Why have you do that?
Why did I do what?
Yeah. Why did you the killing? Why did you shot your husband?
Because he was just, I felt that he loaded the gun, he moved the gun, and the ammunition that was stored in the cabinet was in the gun, and I didn't know what his plans were. And then he was talking to me about those aliens and so forth. And I just got so scared.
Have you not thought about going out for a while in your home and go to your
No,
daughter's house or
I called
Jim's
his
house?
mom, I called everyone, but then they told me that I'm married, and so married people have to stay together and figure out the problem. And I just felt that if somebody heard me and listened to me, and maybe if one of my sons let me stay at their house, and this would not have happened. And I tried with his mom, but his mom told me that I chose to marry her son, and she just kept reassuring me that everything would be okay. And
were you able to manage your problems with your husband before, Bruce? Do you have like uh, people who can help you, or have you?
only his family and mine. I
But-
just don't know why I'm in trouble. I don't want to be in jail. 7 years I have to be in jail. I don't know why. I can't figure it out.
You said a while ago that you went to a counseling. What happened?
I wanted to go to counseling with my husband. I loved him so much. I wanted to go to counseling, but he didn't want to go with me.
Why? What do you think? What's the reason why?
He told me nothing was wrong with our marriage, nothing was wrong with our relationship, and that there's nothing wrong with someone drinking. And then out of nowhere, he lost his job.
Is there such time that she beat you?
All the time. All the time. My sons would tell me that I should get away from this man, but it's their father. I don't understand why they spoke to me like that.
Yeah, but did you not call the police?
I was so scared. If I called the police and they came and they did like a check, and I've heard it before, like they come and they speak to like the person, and then when they left, like I was just fearful that something bad would happen, and I just scared.
Yeah. What's that fear coming from?
It's the gun. The gun is the source of the problem. And then one day he really beat me up. I was crying. I was so scared, and I went to his mother, and his mother, she let me stay with her for a little bit, and then she brought me back home, and then she cooked, and she brought us together, and she let him know the situation, and he smiled, and everything was so good. And then after his mother left, like he got really loud with me, and then so hard for me to talk
All right,
about.
Maggie. When was the last time you were struggling with the fact that you wanted to finish the life of your husband because of the wrong things he did to you?
Every day I thought about it. Every day.
But you did nothing.
I didn't.
Why?
Because everything seemed normal. He would go to work and come back home. And some days he would drink and some days he wouldn't. There was a pattern, so I knew his pattern, but I told you that once that gun.
How your husband was brought up by his parents?
His mother and father are very lovely people. And my sons, they adored them when they were growing up, and they would just come home all the time, and they would just shout, "Grandma, Grandpa's so wonderful," and they love us, and they just had a good time. So I couldn't see that they treated him or raised him bad, and he never said anything bad to me.
He said his parents is a loving father and mother to him.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so. Yeah,
Do you have an idea why he became like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did your husband have friends or did he mingle with his friends outside? It's like when he got home from work, is there a time that have mingle with his friends, like going to visit your house, or you go to visit his
Yeah,
friends, something like that?
they were really nice too. Like they would come over and laugh and everything while the friends were there. Like they never seen or heard anything. But one of them said to me in passing, "How are you doing?" And I seen the concern in his eye, and I don't know.
So can you tell me how your relationship with your children is?
My children. My children love me so much. We have a wonderful relationship.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, from they were small, they would always do things and they'd carry it to their dad. And he wouldn't really pay them much attention. But when they came to me, they came, "Mommy, Mommy, look!" And they would hold up their artwork or something. And yes, just loving.
Oh, by the way, how's your relationship with your friends and neighbors? I would like to know.
Oh, my neighbors, my neighbors. My neighbors, they were so concerned for me. I remember one day, there was one day in the summer, I can't remember what year, but my husband, he beat me up so badly, and I was screaming, and so I couldn't get up out of bed for like 2 or 3 days, and so my neighbors, what they would do was, if they didn't see me for a day, they would bake something and they would bring it over to the
That's
house.
great.
Just and one day in passing, one of the neighbors told me that they'll come and check up on us every day. They were so scared.
But your husband, did he like that? What your neighbors
He
told
didn't
me?
like them coming over because he felt that they were trying to meddle in something, but he didn't know what it was. And he told me that I should keep those crazy people away from our house because they were always asking me too many questions. Yeah,
That time, did you notice something about your husband? Why he's behaving like that?
I didn't.
Are
They
there any financial constraints encountered in your life with your husband?
Yeah, he didn't even buy me a ring for our wedding.
I'm sorry.
We couldn't afford it. In the beginning, everything was good, like I told you, and we had fun, and he bought me like a lot of very beautiful things, and then he just stopped buying them, and he worked like very long hours, and so I really didn't see him much, and I just wish I knew what was going on. I would hate to think that he had a girlfriend or something. I don't know.
Wait a minute. How do you serve your husband when he is at home?
Like a king, I meet him at the door. I bring his slippers and.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the door, I meet him and bring him his slippers, and I have his food is already prepared on the table,
That's
and I have his favorite show on. He's always interested in watching sports, so I know the channel and it's on. He has his food in front of his table, in front of him, and
Did he drink while he is watching
I
the
never
television?
gave him something to drink. I always gave him water because I felt that the water would purify him, but some way, somehow, he would go and take up, he would find the beer, like he would bring home cases of beer, and I don't know. One day he got really mad at me for throwing them away.
Why?
And he beat me up so bad. He told me that he needed it. In order to live with us, he needed it.
So while recalling all these things, while you are here, how's your sleep habit? Do you have an appetite?
No, I I just,
What did you remember with your husband? What do you remember?
I don't understand the question.
I mean, what was the memories that you remember with your husband?
Like the good ones, the bad ones.
The good one?
Oh. We went on a cruise one day to Niagara Falls, and we were able to go on the water, and we were taking such lovely photos. I think that he didn't like our children.
Why?
I don't know. I told you everything was so beautiful up until our children. I think it was our children. Up until they were born, and then he became distant. And
Maybe.
do you believe that he might have hated my children?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. My sons,
Why?
my beautiful sons.
Is he like thinking that he's not their children?
I just don't want to talk about this anymore. I would
Okay.
hate for him to feel
Okay,
that
Maggie,
that
I
was
understand.
the case.
At 10 in the morning? If it's too bad for you today, so heavy now.
It is too heavy. It just
understand.
came to me that maybe he didn't like my children.
So what do you think, Maggie? Does your husband doesn't like children?
I feel that way. I feel as though from the moment that he found out that I was pregnant, it's like he looked at me with disgust. And I don't know.
Yeah, but you said a while ago that his parents, he was loved much by his parents, right?
Yeah, he was. They're lovely people.
So what?
I don't know what happened.
Is there something that triggered him that he doesn't like children, or is it something like? It seems that.
You know what? I do remember him telling me about his uncle. His uncle would come over, and I can't remember the details, but something with his uncle. I don't know.
I remember.
Yeah. When he was a child, like his mom, it's his mother's brother. Yeah, that was it. It was his mother's brother. And when he came over, he told his mom, I don't want Uncle George to come over. And his mom wouldn't listen. And then one day, when his mother had to go away and his father, like she had to go to the hospital, right? And his father was working abroad for his, I can't remember what it was, but he was working abroad and he had to go spend time with his Uncle George, and then things went south. His uncle abused him, I think, and I don't know what that has to do with our children.
But did he abuse your children?
He didn't even like to hold them. I don't know. Like I told you, my children would run up to him with a piece of artwork and say, Daddy, Daddy, look what we did. And
He did not appreciate it.
he didn't want them around him. Like, you know, some fathers, they would take their sons to go fishing or camping or watching trains or something, but not my husband.
There's no like
No
any chances
connection.
that they go for playing sports, something like that, or go to fishing.
One day we went to the beach and we went to the beach and some families were playing volleyball. It was free volleyball nets just lined up along the beach, and I told him to come because we brought a little ball that we were playing with the boys with, and so I said, come, let's go play volleyball, and he just looked at me and went back to his phone. He didn't want to engage with us. Like, I don't know what happened. I really loved my husband.
But is there a time that your husband?
You know what? He told me that he didn't want any children when we met.
Right.
But I wanted children, so I had to have my children. So.
Did you discuss that together?
No, I didn't have to. It's my body, my choice. like, I don't, did you feel that your wife had to tell you that she didn't want children or whatever? Because I think that most every family has children. Do you think so? Do you have children?
I have children.
Right. So, do you love your children?
I love my children.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I just had a strange husband. I can't even believe it. Like, when he started talking about those aliens, that really, like, scared me.
Have you noticed something with him? Like, he smoked
So,
aside
I'll
from
tell you.
drinking?
So, he even stopped showering. I really, like, got concerned because I would have to tell him, okay, you're gonna go to work tomorrow, or you're gonna go. No, he wasn't even working. I told him that he's gonna go for his job interview, that he should, just fix up his facial hair and so forth, and he didn't want to.
When the police came to your house, what did you do?
Well, my house is so clean. It's so spotless. Like, I had to rearrange this in a way that it looks so pleasing to me. And so, like, there's not even a crumb on the floor. My house is so clean. Like, my windows, like, these windows are so dirty. I don't even know how you sit in here, but my windows, like, I use the vinegar and water and I clean the windows. And so there's no handprints or anything on it. And because he was on the bed and he was just laying down like this with his hand, and he just looked so peaceful. I wanted to wake him up and hug him and kiss him, but then I remember the gun. I remember the fact that he put the ammunition in the gun, and I was so scared, and I walked around to the side of the bed, all the while keeping my eyes on him, right? And then as soon as I realized that I grabbed the gun, and then the power that came from it, I remember all the bad stuff and how my neighbors were scared for me and how his parents and my parents told me that I'm married, and then I remember that day when he beat me up so badly.
Is there something in your mind that ordered you to kill your husband?
No. I just knew that either he was gonna get me or I was gonna get him, and I need to live. I'm so beautiful.
I know that, yeah. How was the police knew that you killed your husband?
Oh my goodness. So after I climbed on the bed and stood up over him, and then I pulled the trigger and killed him, then I had to wipe off the walls because all the blood was just everywhere, and I had to get bleach and water and a lot of rags and big black garbage bags, and I had to wipe it. I couldn't even clean the bed. Like, I had to wipe off all the blood off the walls, and then I tucked him in bed so nicely and covered him up, so rolled him onto his back and covered him up, and he just looked like that peaceful, loving husband that I had. And I sat there and stared at him for so long because I love him so much. I just wish that I didn't feel that he was gonna finish me. So after I did that, I took up my cell phone. I don't even know where my cell phone is. Where's my bag? Oh, it's over there. Okay, it's over there. But anyways, I took up my cell phone and I dialed 911 and I let them know that my husband is here and he's dead. And so the lady, she stayed on the phone with me for so long, and then when they came, they asked me why I cleaned up. I can't have people coming to my house and it's messy, right? Like the blood splattering all on the walls. I couldn't have that, so I cleaned it up.
So is that in your mind that just clean it because you don't want to have an evidence?
It's not about evidence. It's just the house has to be clean. Like, right now my hair is all over the place because I forgot to bring my brush and my mirror to look at myself, and I can't even see myself in the mirror. Like,
when was the last time you go for a salon to make your...
My husband never let me go anywhere. The only place I could go to was the grocery store and back home. And he had that ring on the doorbell, like the doorbell ring. So he would see when I went in and when I came out. And I felt so alone. I just had my neighbors and his mom and my family.
I know it's heavy for now. I don't want to force you anymore.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Thank
Maggie?
you for understanding.
So I will check, okay, and I will book the appointment on April 10. That is Wednesday. So 10 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Okay. So perfect. So well, thank you for being honest and participative today, Maggie. I know that's a lot of sharing today. I appreciate all the sharings that you have shared to me. And see you on April 10, 10 in the morning. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Maggie.